Hey there everybody, Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CarterMatt.com.
This video is our reaction for The Expanse Season 4, Episode 1, the premiere entitled New Terra. We have made it. We have, for those of you who haven't seen the other videos, Jess and I have basically watched this entire show for the first time over these past couple of months. And I feel like we've gotten like a crash course in all things The Expanse, but...
Yep.
It's also a good thing because we probably watch like hundreds of shows throughout the year, so we can actually remember pretty fully everything that just happened.
Yeah, it's put us in a pretty good position because we sort of have this,
Yeah.
we've just watched it, so I don't want to say a refresher because it's the first time we've watched it, but that's sort of what it feels like. We're going into Season 4, and we know it's very fresh in our mind.
And I enjoyed this premiere a lot, and I think, though, in kind of watching The Expanse over these last couple of months, we've kind of gotten a good sense of what premiere episodes are. Yep. It's sort of like you go over to someone's house for a fancy dinner party, and you know that they're going to bring out, like, the beef tenderloin later on in the night. But, right now they're giving you some dinner rolls, they're giving you the butter. It's sort of like you're salivating, you're wanting more, you want to know what it tastes like, but you're not fully there yet.
Yeah, it's a nice, good setup. The premieres usually do a really good job of laying out the groundwork, and this premiere did an excellent job of that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm hungry now. But anyway, before we do anything else, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I think the most interesting thing about this episode to me was, my favorite scene was when there wasn't even a word spoken. It was when they land at New Terra, and you see Naomi especially come out of the ship and just sort of experiencing this crazy new world for the first time.
I agree. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. That was my absolute favorite moment when she kind of stumbled a little bit and Holden held everyone back for her to just be able to get her own footing and feel this out, and everything that she went through to be able to have this moment. Yeah. All of it, just feel it. It was really powerful.
And they set it up in a really cool way because I didn't really anticipate them going there at the start of the premiere, where we have, James Holden actually at home on Earth with his family. Like, we didn't have that in 3 seasons of this show.
Yeah, no, that was really cool, and it was nice to see that they still kept things very realistic in this show. Naomi, to be able to have come there, was going to have to go through a lot of pain and through everything that we saw her going through to be able to go to this new planet. So it was cool to see her having these little video conferences with the family who are all butchering, trying to talk to her and belt her. It was, it was really funny, and it was just a nice sort of feeling that I think a lot of us have been at, where you want to fit in with someone that you're just meeting, and you want to be able to connect, and you're trying your best, and it's just not always hitting the mark, but the good intentions are there.
That was maybe like a top 5 relatable moment on The Expanse, where it's just like, it doesn't matter what year this is, what technology, you always still have the family member who's like trying to pull out some reference or language to show that they care, and and it's the thought that counts rather than the execution.
Absolutely. I really like that they were really trying with
that. I mean, it was all sweet, and I think Holden has probably a greater understanding of his home now and appreciation for it now that he's been away.
It's also nice to see that not only 8 months later they're still together, but that she's kind of meeting the family. I know she's not there, but it's through the video, but that their relationship is progressing in a really nice way.
Yeah, it's a good step. They're moving clearly in the right direction. I don't know what an Expanse wedding really looks like.
I don't need to see that.
Can we ordain Amos as the minister?
No, I've said this through the first 3 seasons of the show. I like that there's very little sort of romance. I don't need to see a wedding on the show. I like that their relationship just feels nice and stable. They don't need to be married. It's all good.
I'm talking myself into it now because of...
I feel that is what's happening over here.
Technically, I mean, we already do have Anna, so technically we already have a pastor. We don't really need to ordain Amos, but I still kind of want it to happen. But, yeah, it was a nice introduction to where Holden and Naomi are now, and I think the first part of this episode was really kind of like a "Where are they now?" segment on The Expanse, where they sort of just cycled through.
Yeah, and I mean, seeing Holden and his mom, and then he was given the book, the Don Quixote book,
of course,
and all these kinds of, all the feels were coming out. And then, we got to see a little bit of sort of the connective tissue of where everybody is, what everybody's doing. We even had an update on Melba, who's in jail, who is still talking to Amos for some reason. I guess there was some sort of connection there throughout the time that passed before she was carted off to jail for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Very strange video call, but still fun to watch.
Amos makes strange friends. This is the thing I've learned from The Expanse. I mean, if you look at all of his friends, they don't really have a lot in common. You have Melba, who was a super-powered hero/villain at times, and then you've got Prax, who is like Mr. Nice Gardener Man, and then...
I think it just feels, at least with Prax, that we got to watch their relationship develop. We didn't really see anything develop with Melba and Amos, and it almost felt like it was put in there so that we could have an opportunity to know what happened to Melba, because she was a character that we got to know fairly well in the last half of season 3. So it is good to know what happened to her and where she is and stuff like that. So I don't think we're going to see her again, but it's good to have that tie up. But it was a little strange, and I was kind of like, really? This is how we're learning about it? Okay, that's fine. I'll bite.
Well, we also learned Amos, zero interest in going back to Earth, seemingly, at this point.
Yep.
He's a hiding from something.
Yeah, he is.
We've learned that much, at least for this little while. Let's talk about House Hunters featuring Bobby Draper, because it feels like that's kind of what's going on with her now.
Yeah, she feels like she's kind of in this, like, dormitory. There's a bunch of people living there, and I guess she's not part of the army anymore.
Doesn't seem like it.
She didn't sign something. I guess they want her to lie, then they want her to do something else, and she's not having any of it. So now I guess she's just a citizen of Mars.
And she's also just, like, totally playing it cool that she is, like, this sort of, like, big war hero at this point. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people on Mars were fed information that was not entirely accurate, that maybe,
I'm sure that's true.
Maybe she's not the anointed person that she should be, but she's kind of just living her life, communicating with Alex here or there, getting updates as to what's going on.
I still wish that she came on this mission with them. It's nice to see the core four together on the mission together to do this, but I still really liked having her as part of the crew.
And I still think maybe I'm just crazy about this. I mean, granted, we're all going to find out very fast because The Expanse is dropping all these at once, but I just feel like she's got to find a way to connect with them because, Bobby's still a series regular character. Mm-hmm. So I cannot imagine all of season 4 is going to be Bobby looking for a new place to stay.
No, and with what's going on the new planet and all the weird stuff that happened there, I feel like they may need her to come out there at some point. The more friends, the more help that they can get, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, just make sure she brings that suit of armor, because I think she may end up needing it based on what we ended up seeing.
Well, hopefully she still has access to it if she's not part of the Marines anymore.
Maybe she smuggled it out.
That's right.
We need the armor. Okay, speaking of people who basically need armor at all times, let's talk about Drummer, who almost dies a lot, so she could probably use something like this.
Yeah, she really could. But it was good to see her.
Yeah.
Good to see her back up on her feet and doing a little bit better. Yeah. She was saying that her spine is getting better. She can feel the pain. That means that things are happening for her, so she's tough.
Yeah, that means that she's probably, like, running marathons and doing, like, all this other stuff to put herself in danger again. But, it's good to see. Drummer's back around.
Yep.
I was surprised that her and Ashford were still kind of working together.
I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if they were going to be after everything that happened, but it feels like Ashford's kind of learned something from everything that happened as well. So it feels like they're more on the same plane a little bit.
I hope so. I either hope it's that, or if Ashford does start to act up a little bit, that Drummer reserves the right to just kick him out into space.
And I'm sure she will.
And, at this point...
And I won't feel bad about it when she does.
No, especially if he does something again. I mean, I'm looking still for a candidate of this guy needs to go immediately. That's what I felt about other people looking at you, Jules Pierre Mao, in the past on this show. I don't think we have that yet.
No, we did have like a very brief little screen where we saw Dawes and Fred on it, though. That was a little bit surprising. Maybe that's all we're going to get of them this season, but at least they're kind of mentioning that they're still around in this universe.
I appreciate that. I mean, if you
me too.
If you can't get Jared Harris around for longer than like a few seconds, then I will take your few seconds of Jared Harris.
It's just nice that it's not forgotten.
No.
They're not just lost in space.
Yeah. Well, it's another streaming show. Okay, well, yeah, so it was cool to see that with Drummer, see that she's out there. Christian, I mean, I'm happy we got a little bit more of Christian than we did in the second half of season 3.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just a little bit worried that now that she has sent them on the mission,
yeah,
I'm not going to get as much of her as I wish. So that's my only concern because I'm a huge Christian fan. I love her. She's so good. So yeah, I'm hoping at the very least we'll still get a little bit of communications back and forth. I mean, she is the person who has sent the Rossi crew out there, so she's got to be in communication with them.
And I feel like if nothing else, there's got to be, give me all the political upheaval possible here. I'm not saying I want someone to bust Aaron Wright out of prison, though that would be fun, but I really think there needs to be some more stuff going on there on Earth, because I'm sure everyone on Earth probably has some opinions about what's going on beyond the ring with these portals and what the Belters are doing, and
absolutely,
there's a lot of material that can be mined there, so I'm hoping for great things. After everything that happened to bring the Expanse back, I don't think you're just gonna turn Christian into like the Charlie's Angels that is the Rossi crew.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't expect her to get on a ship again and go and be part of all of this, but definitely I would like to see some more sort of another really good foil for her, because Aaron Wright and all that stuff that was going on with him was so rich in material for her. And for him, I still am a fan of his.
I still contend they should have kept... I'm still upset that they got rid of Aaron Wright when they did. I think he had more... He had more that he could have given Expanse. Give him a chance. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Aaron Wright's bad.
What is happening?
Okay, but so... All right, we'll go over now to our new world again, to New Terra, where Belters, they're trying to find their own home. And it was fascinating in some ways to see that not even everyone who is a Belter is like fully on board with this as a good idea. Like Drummer seemed to be particularly perturbed that people were doing this.
Yeah, and I think it just feels like Drummer really does want the belt to be united in a way, so that because she has felt a lot the way that Fred feels, is just that she really wants them to come together as a group, be united, and if they were all going to sort of take over a new place or settle somewhere, that it would be something that would kind of be a group decision, not just some Belters running through the ring as fast as possible to get to this new place and be like, ours, claimed.
That is really, they are the claimers from The Walking Dead of the Expanse
right.
at the moment, because it is, they got there, they planted their metaphorical flag, they're making it clear that apparently this is worth whatever sort of horror they went through to get there, and we saw a lot of horror for a lot of these people.
Yeah.
This was some pretty serious carnage, but...
Yeah, that whole scene with them coming down in that ship, and it just like... I don't know what was happening. It felt like it was getting shot down. We did see later there was like that swarm of metal
Yeah.
going through the air that felt like it was ripping through that ship. This does not seem like a great place to live.
No, it doesn't. I don't feel like the real estate here is going to be going for a lot because you have to put all this stuff down. You have to put down, okay, so, questionable conditions. You don't know what else is out there. You've got like the metal version of the smoke monster just like running around and causing all sorts of chaos.
But at least they have a place to call their own, and for everything that they've gone through on the belt and being so disenfranchised and being kind of this group of people that are like the forgotten people and just used as workers, and to not just have their own place. I think at this point, they're going to deal with the metal smoke monster and whatever other issues are going on, because at least it's their home. And once they're able to figure it out, kind of like The Walking Dead, where the walkers don't actually matter anymore. They're just kind of, annoyances. We'll deal with them. We know how to deal with them because we all live here now. Maybe it'll turn into something like that. Oh, here comes the metal smoke monster. Everybody just take cover and it'll move on.
Maybe that's the case. I mean, it's still so early. That's the cool thing about this planet. We know like almost nothing other than that. Maybe their leader here is going to be this Mercury dude who we don't really know all that much about just yet, other than that, like, he seems to be commanding, and I feel like he is top contender right now to replace Aaron Wright as the jerk who I appreciate still being on the show.
Yeah,
but
we don't know a lot about him, but he seems like he is really tough.
Yeah, like, this dude means business.
Yeah, he does.
And I think he's probably, I mean, I at least understand his perspective, and I think that's important for any foil on the Expanse, where they feel like this is their place, they went through everything, and here comes this Rossi crew, these people that are going to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with that.
No. And I will say this about it as well. I wasn't sure, as many of you, I sure feel this way, of how Amazon was going to move forward with the Expanse. We are it is at a new place now with new ideas or new people, all kinds of newness around it. They did a very good job with this episode, feeling just like the original of the first 3 seasons that we saw. Maybe a little bigger budget, looking a little more shiny with stuff like that, but it still felt the same, and I'm really thankful for that. When I first went into season 1, the beginning of season 2 or season 3, and sort of all that, when it's changing over into these new storylines, it gave me the feeling that I'm always a little bit not lost, but lost, where there's so much stuff happening and I'm like, how does this fit in and this mystery fit in? And they've done a really good job in this first episode of giving me that same feeling of, oh man, okay, there's all these cool little elements now with this new place and this metal smoke monster and these new characters. How does everybody fit in? Aces. I'm really happy with this.
Yeah, and I think we'll get answers as things go along. I think, I feel like I'm in the position of the crew. We've touched down. Yep. We've seen the surroundings. We've surveyed it, but we don't know that much more than them. And that's exciting. But we will know more soon because we will be back with another video discussing Season 4, Episode 2. But as you guys watch this episode, what did you think? Share your thoughts below, and if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking that link in the description to the Carter Matt store, and we'll see you here next time.